If you have been feeling off lately, not necessarily bad, but not like yourself, these three things will help you to get back on track. I have noticed that whenever I begin to feel this way, it's usually not because something is wrong. It's usually because something is out of alignment. And used to, I would try to focus on trying to fix everything in my life, get overwhelmed, and then do nothing. But now I just focus on these three things and I wanted to share them with you. Hi, my name is Latoya. If it's your first time here at Life with Toya, and I am your favorite YouTuber who focuses on healing, self care, and living our best life. Point number one that I wanted to touch on is to reset your space. A lot of people don't realize this, but your environment does produce feelings in your body. So, one thing I started to do was I started to recognize how I felt in certain environments, and I wanted to feel that way in my own space. So, whether that's in my space at work, my space at home, even in my car, there are things that I'm starting to do that will help me to replicate this feeling in my own spaces. I don't want to have to wait until I'm going on a trip out of town to feel a calm of peace. I want to feel that at home. So, whenever your space feels chaotic, you will begin to feel chaotic. The goal is to feel clear mentally, and you don't even have to do a full deep clean. If you've been following my channel, you know that I have been decluttering all of my spaces, and it does help to make me feel lighter. It makes cleaning up easier because everything has a space. I know where it goes. It doesn't take me as long. I'm not just picking things up from one space and putting it in another. But you don't have to start that big. You can start out with baby steps. You can start by making your bed. You can start by clearing the counter. You can start by washing the dishes. It doesn't have to be you on your hands and knees scrubbing down all of the baseboards. So just start small and work your way up. I have noticed that for me, once my space feels a little bit more clear, a little bit more, what is the word I'm looking for? In order, then I feel a bit more grounded and I feel a bit more at peace, and I don't have to wait to be in someone else's space to feel that way. The second thing that you can reset is your routine. It doesn't have to be elaborate either. And what I mean by that is let's go back to the basics. If you've watched any of my reset or routine videos, you will see that I have a list of things that are my non-negotiables. These are things that must be done every day, and they're simple things that can be done even if my energy is very low. So, for instance, making up my bed. It takes 2 minutes to make up the bed once I get out of the bed. That is my non negotiable. Even if I work from home, I have made an effort to get dressed for the day. It resets my mind, it makes me feel better. Even moving my body for 10 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be a 1 hour routine, just a 10-minute stretch. So, these are my non negotiables. Anything else outside of that and is called a gentle add on. That's what I like to call it. These are taking vitamins, eating breakfast, and journaling, reading. These are things that will not make or break the day if they don't happen. So, this way, it keeps your routine from being too intricate, too much. Because once you have 18 things on the list of things to do for your morning routine, you're going to be like, I don't feel like doing anything today. It makes it easier to just bail out, and we don't want to do that. You don't have to try to overhaul your entire life by creating the perfect routine. So I have learned to just focus on a few key habits and then add gentle add-ons when and where I can, if I have the time and the energy. And the last thing is to reset your mind. This is the game changer. I say this because sometimes the reason we feel off is not because of what's going on around us, but it's basically about what's going on within us internally. This may look like journaling. We actually just touched on that in the last step. Getting your thoughts out onto paper can really help. Take a nice quiet walk, unplug from the noise. Give yourself the space and the time to think things through. One thing I have learned is that if I am constantly intaking information, whether that's through books, social media, constantly consuming, constantly being distracted, I don't give myself time to process the information that I am receiving. And I actually just took the most amazing trip that I really needed You guys are going to get to see that coming up. Give yourself time to sit down in the still and in the quiet. This will actually give you the opportunity to figure out what it is that you need instead of just reacting to how you feel. On the trip, we went to the mountains and saw a waterfall. And when I tell you the peace, there wasn't even a bird chirping. It was just total quiet. Anyway, let me get back. But you guys are going to get to see that. So if you want to see more of that, make sure that you subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop new videos. But back to this step. One of the things that I've learned is that you do not have to completely start over every single time you feel off. You don't have to do more research. You just need to move, sit, think, process. Figure out what it is that you need and don't react on how you feel. Sometimes you just need to reset a few things and come back to yourself. So reset your space, reset your routine, and reset your mind. If you've been feeling a little off lately, hopefully this video helped you. And until next time, enjoy life with Toya.